Welcome to Leading Ladies of Rio Rancho, brought to you by the Rio Rancho Observer. During this series, we will invite business and community leaders from Rio Rancho and its surrounding communities in Sandoval County for conversations on what they do, why they do it, and the issues they face. I'm your host, Tracy Goldeisen, editor of the Rio Rancho Observer. Welcome. Hello, today's guests are Amanda Davis and Jalene Berger with the Rio Rancho Regional Chamber of Commerce's Women in Leadership Group. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I just want to see if you guys wanted to take a moment to talk about what you do in your role within the Women's in Leadership Group.
Great. Well, I've kind of been there from the beginning. I've done a lot of stuff with the Rio Rancho Chamber of Commerce, and the Women in Leadership is one of the newer ventures. And I was really excited. They said, "Who wants to be a part of it?" I said, "Of course, I would love to be a part of it." So it's been a journey, and it's been really interesting hearing from the ladies and seeing how it's been developed over the couple years that we've started.
Okay. Yeah, this was. I think Susan Sheridan from the Chamber sort of really pushed this, and we've got a lot of dynamic women on the board now at the Chamber as well. Some have rolled off, some are still on, but it's something we wanted to get started to support women in leadership in the community, and we're really excited that we think this is our third year.
Yes.
Okay, so how did the women's group come about, and what exactly is the role it plays within the chamber and the community itself, and, kind of what is the goal of the group?
Well, I think the goal of the group is to provide a platform for women to get together, whether they own their business, whether they have a leadership position in their business, but we bring in different speakers to support those whatever people need, be it business-related, health-related, financial-related. And it's a real opportunity for women to network, share stories, know that they're not out there by themselves if they're trying to get something started. And the Chamber has just been trying more and more to support the community with different things. And so it's a really good one for women.
Okay.
Yeah, the Chamber has a bunch of different offshoots, if you will, as I kind of like to say. They have a Visionaries, which used to be the younger group. That's kind of adjusted as well. There's the Veterans group. There's the Nonprofits group. So they have these different ways of reaching out and serving the community. And the Chamber does that really successfully, in my opinion, the Rio Rancho Chamber of Commerce. And this is one of the ways that they wanted to serve the community of women in the area to not only give them a platform just to network, to grow, and to do all of that, but also to help create the next leaders, to create the next leadership within our community. And the Chamber is really behind that. And it's just been fun to kind of watch how that's growing.
Yeah, I know when I came over to the Observer about a year ago, I think it was like my second or third day in, and our Susan, who does advertising, was like, "Oh, we got to go to this Women in Leadership luncheon. You'll love it." So, yeah, I have been involved in some of those meetings. You say you think you're on your third year now. Do you have any knowledge of how the organization came to be? And
I think this is really kind of Jerry's. He's kind of running the Chamber of Commerce over there, and Susan's been instrumental. And they really saw that there was this void, if you will, for the women in the community. There really wasn't that space. There's other women's groups, but the Chamber really wasn't serving that community, and that was something when the Chamber, they actually bought their building several years ago, and these are one of the initiatives that came out of some of those things. And they said, and the board really put some effort behind it. Says what communities are we not serving? And the women's group really kind of shined, and that's really, I think, where the spark kind of lit behind it.
Yeah, I think the women's group really took off. There was one point where I can't remember if it was before we had the building or even while we had the building, we needed a room that was much larger. Mm-hmm. Now it is hard to find a place to support a huge group. So we stuffed them all in the conference room now.
So we're in the market, guys.
So, yeah. So, but we're almost every month we're full.
Yeah. That kind of leads into the next question I had for you is how has the group evolved over its existence? And sounds like there's been a lot of growth.
There has been a lot of growth. We have a lot of people returning. We have people that will come once and maybe skip a couple months, or organizations that have lots of women and they might send one or two this month, then one or two the following month. But all in all, I think it's one of the most successful programs that the Chamber has put in place.
Yeah, it started out gangbusters, and then it kind of leveled out, and it just grew from there. We were actually having to change different venues and find ways to accommodate, because the chamber office really only has so much room. Unless we want to party outside, that's an option.
Just not now.
Take a detour to Target. Who knows?
Maybe when the weather warms a little bit.
But it's really grown. I think it's pretty consistent. I'm probably not as present as I probably could be, because I've overextended myself and I'm trying to work that out. But all I've seen is growth over growth, and every time we come to the leadership meetings, there's always something new and interesting.
Okay. And if somebody in the community did want to get involved in this group, how would they do that, and why would it be beneficial for them to do that?
Well, the Chamber has everything listed on their website, and it's rrrcc. Is it org or
Org?
Yeah, .org. They have a great calendar of community events there, and there's usually a little QR code that you can just enroll, and there's you can pay for a full year's membership if somebody's really interested right now in January, because you get a break for that if you pay it up front. Otherwise, if you're a member of the Chamber, it's a certain cost. If you're not a member, it's a certain cost. But they do send invites out, and then it's right there on the website to get involved, and it's always the second Wednesday of the month.
I believe so. And there's so many opportunities, not just networking, but you do have lunch and time for networking. One of the things that we offer is you actually can sponsor the meeting, and that kind of helps provide the food and so on and so forth. But that gives you time in front of the group. So if you're looking to really promote yourself or get out in the community and kind of let everybody know who you are and what you're doing, this is a great opportunity. I think it's $300.
$300
to sponsor, and we can split that up between two sponsors. So this is a really easy, accessible opportunity for those who would like to find a way to reach out to the female entrepreneurs, the young leaders, and the female leaders in our community.
Okay. Can you share any stories of experiences or relationships that you have had as a result of being involved in the group, or that maybe members have come up to you and told you about, like, hey, I came to your meeting and it did this for my business? Or, do you have any examples of stories like that?
Well, and I'll let Jalene go after this, but we actually did support, do some community support, where we actually voted in the nonprofit and that kind of stuff. And so there was money put together towards it. But every time I go to a meeting, I just get approached by several women, if you stay afterwards, and they just thank you, and they tell you how amazing the group was and the different connections that they found, and it's just a wonderful experience. Do you have any stories offhand, Jalene, that you can think of?
Yeah, so at the end of the year, we always have a holiday gathering. And at least for the past 2 years, last year we supported one nonprofit, this year a different one. So you get to know those nonprofits, and people do make connections for that. Personally, I've made connections with several people because I go almost every single month. And some of those relationships that I've built are new clients for my own business. But more importantly is relationships outside with people that can help my business, or even just some really good friends. So, because you see the same women and they experience the same things that you're experiencing every day, running a business, trying to even out your life. And so if you're not a shy person and you talk to people, there's lots that you can walk away from those meetings with. So,
Even if you're shy, we'll help you. Don't worry.
Say, reporters aren't supposed to be shy, but I have that part of me that I have to overcome to do my job. So,
and even events, because there's a lot of people that are sponsoring events, and there are different times within the meeting structure that they can, say what's going on. But even the speakers, I've loved some of the speakers.
Okay, so the last meeting I went to was the General Mills one. And
Awesome.
the best story. So I took a friend of mine. She's not a business person, but I'm like, you're coming with me. And she had the best time ever. And so General Mills came and they spoke and they dropped some incredible knowledge, just how they work internationally, the way they have their brand set up. So there was a lot of knowledge. But it was funny because they brought us products off the production line. They literally went to the plant and put stuff in boxes and gave it to us. And it's processed food. So I'm laughing because they're like, this is the freshest you're ever going to get this stuff. And my friend's eating it in the car. And I was like, so how's your granola bar? Is it really fresh? And she's like, actually, it really is.
Well, I have to piggyback that because the cereal just tasted different being so fresh compared to the cereal that's been sitting on the shelf for several weeks. Maybe it's the way she presented it that she put that idea into my head, but I really did. And I took it back to my team and shared with my team, and they were all like, this is really good.
Okay. So, we already kind of went over how to sponsor a meeting, but what about the speakers? How are those chosen, or how would somebody become a speaker at one of the meetings?
Initially, we did kind of a survey to see what the group was looking for. And then the leadership comes together and they go through, okay, here's our month. Here's what we want to accomplish and who are the speakers that we know. And we typically do that. But I think we get approached for people in the group that would like to be speakers as well.
Yeah. So both ways. There is a very small group of women that are like I don't know if we want to call them the exec team of women in leadership, but they meet ahead of time and we sort of outline the schedule. And we're the survey that Amanda was alluding to was presented to all the women at one point in time just to see what kind of help do they need. What are they looking for out of the group? So we've piggybacked off of that. And then people that have come in have volunteered to be speakers as well.
Okay. And typically, how long do the meetings run if somebody wanted to come for the first time so they could plan accordingly?
It's an hour-and-a-half meeting. There's lunch. There's, what are the speakers, Amanda, for 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
I think so. Typically, it kind of depends on what it is and what they're doing. But I think typically that kind of stuff, and we give, hey, here's the business. Here are things coming up. Here are things the chamber's doing. But we really like to provide what we have found that this group really enjoys is that networking time.
Okay.
And so we really try to give them as much opportunity for that as possible.
And then the sponsor gets 5 to 10 minutes to stand up in front of the group. That's the benefit of being a sponsor for one of the months, so that they can tell a little bit about their business, usually hand out some things. And then we do bribe people because there's always drawings for prizes at the end of the meeting as well.
You can bring wine. That is a great, everybody wants the wine if somebody brings the wine in, I'm telling you.
Yeah, wine and jewelry.
Oh, jewelry. See, now that's what I would go for, is the jewelry.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else about the group that you want to talk about that we haven't had a chance to go over yet?
I think it's a great opportunity if you're in an organization, say you are not a business owner, this is not a business owners group. If you have aspirations to be a leader in your community, or you want to learn from other strong leaders in your community that are female and that are strong, this is a great place to come and meet, not just connections for your business, not just connections personally or professionally, but also personal connections, because you work too dang hard. You need to get out there and have a little bit of fun. And these ladies are a lot of fun. You will not be disappointed if you come by.
Okay.
Yeah, I would piggyback that by saying it's a lot of it is similar or like-minded people. And you had asked me earlier, even just making those friendships, just having that social opportunity to go out and network with women that may have lots of things in common with you or common aspirations, maybe even. It's just a wonderful hour and a half out of the month, and you might learn something too.
Right?
You might get some General Mills. We may have to ask them back.
Or you might win some of that wine or jewelry.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's all the questions I had. So unless you have anything else to add, I think we can wrap this up. And I just want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to come join us for this and to discuss the Women in Leadership group that the Rio Rancho Regional Chamber of Commerce, I guess, sponsors, hosts.
It's part of
branch.
it's part of the overall chamber. It's one of their groups that they put on. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So it's been great having you, and thank you for all the wonderful information on how people can get involved and what it does for them. And yeah.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and we hope to see you there too.
Yes, this is fun. We're looking forward to seeing everybody who hears this. Come on by. We'd love to see you.
And I guess it sounds like if you have a bigger space, we may be looking for that.
Come and talk to us.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
could use it. If you cater, we would like to talk to you too.
Lots of opportunities.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It's been great talking with you, and we'll probably see you at one of these meetings coming forward.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for joining us for Leading Ladies of Rio Rancho from the Rio Rancho Observer. We hope you join us for future episodes, and if you or someone you know would like to be a guest, let us know by emailing editor@rrobserver.com. Again, I'm Tracy Goldeisen, editor of the Rio Rancho Observer. We appreciate you watching and listening. Have a great day.